Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Coffee with Carl. I am your host, as always, Carl Zellner, one of the attorneys here with Anderson Business Advisors. Today, I want to talk a little bit about intellectual property. So this won't apply to everyone, but if you have some intellectual property within your business, or maybe you're acquiring a business that has some valuable intellectual property, there's a couple ways we would suggest working with it. Number one is sort of like when we start talking about businesses or active businesses that own valuable real estate, we generally like to split out the valuable asset from the active business. So we can use the same concept here with intellectual property. So with intellectual property, if I have a valuable piece of IP, then I can actually split that out, put it in a different business entity than my active business, and lease it either back to myself or one of my entities, or to outside third parties. So it's one of those things we want to keep an eye on. I would suggest if you have some or looking how to treat it, you should have a consult with one of our advisors or one of the attorneys, and we can help you get that structured. The licensing agreement is also a great way from a tax perspective, in that you can actually pay licensing agreements don't come along with self-employment tax. So instead of having everything jammed into one business, making it complex, or even potentially risking having something that could be treated as passive income as active income, is usually the way to go. So when we start talking or thinking about intellectual property, we should start thinking, okay, so let's split the valuable piece out of our business, which a lot of times is going to be that intellectual property. Also, if you get sued, what's nice is that intellectual property should not become subject of that lawsuit. So you split it out, and then you basically lease it back to one of your other entities, or you can lease it to outside third parties, and they can pay you a fee for using it as well. So that's your sort of intellectual property basics as far as how on entity structuring, tax advantage, that sort of a thing. One thing I would say is if you are starting to look at trademark or copyright, you should reach out to a intellectual property attorney. It's a specialty area, and they can help you get that filed if it's appropriate to do so. So just a reminder to everyone, please keep taking advantage of all of our free content out there. There's a ton of stuff from Toby, Michael, Clint, and that way you can take advantage of all those free videos. Also, our Tax Tuesday with Toby. There's also, it's sort of the list sort of goes on and on at this point. And especially if you haven't joined us for one of our tax and AP classes lately, or if you're a client and you haven't joined us for our structure implementation or TaxWise classes, I'd encourage you to sign up. As a platinum client, you have the ability to take those classes for free every year. So why not grab the refresher while they're out there? So that's about it for me on this episode. Thanks for everybody for joining me again, and we will catch you on the next episode of Coffee with Carl. Thanks, everyone.